Hi, I'm Kelly McKinney, the Creative Director at Hohenheim Productions, bringing you a new series. I've just recently gotten into 3D animation and game development, and so when I'm not working on my own models and games right now, in my downtime I'm playing other games, exploring programming, getting ideas, and just overall having a good time gaming. So this new series is going to start a brand new character in a rather old MMORPG, The Lord of the Rings Online, and we're going to start from scratch. We are going to go from, in this first episode, from character creation through to the intro, and we are starting this on the LotRO English EU role-playing server, and we're doing that because we're going to role-play. We're going to kind of slow crawl through the lore and the missions, and we're going to try to make them as engaging as possible. The sort of inspiration behind this series comes from one of my favorite channels, Oxhorn, who currently dives into Fallout 76, which was not received with all the best reviews, but he still shows the best parts of the game and enjoys it with a lot of his other fans. So I'm trying to do the same thing with an older game that I'm knowledgeable with the lore of, and that I have always had a good time playing, and that would be The Lord of the Rings Online. So I have another character created that's a little further along, just a little bit further along, but we're going to start from scratch. And rather than starting far, far west, we are going to start out as a man, which is going to start us closer to the Bree area. And we'll kind of crawl through this with probably a captain. We're going to go through and we're going to kind of choose our classes here. So I have played before through with both a captain as well as I've also had a hunter. The hunters are a lot of fun. They're high damage per second. DPS. That's what you'll hear me say if you're not familiar with MMORPGs. And but the captain affords us opportunities to have a companion that we can roleplay with. And I like the burglar, but I always save that for like a hobbit character since they're small, and you see in the movies and also just in the novels as well, they're sort of sneaky. So I always save that. Same with a minstrel character. I usually save that for a hobbit class. So between between a hunter and a captain, let's go with a captain. So, start with male, captain, and let's see. In previous times that I've downloaded this, the movies don't want to work well. Let's see if we can...
The captain is a masterful leader, a commanding presence who strengthens her allies, but she is also skilled in the use of arms. Her battle cries strike fear into the hearts of her enemies, while her allies rally to her banners of war.
And for whatever reason in the movie, we are automatically a female, which is fine. We're going to go with a male. Be a rebel, right? So, let's see. And let's be from Gondor, because we're going to be making our way east through this series, ideally, and eventually end up back in Gondor. So let's take the fight east. We'll start with some ideas by randomizing our character name. Gumborn, I don't like that. Pratras. That's not half bad. Matt Burn. Sorry. Okay. Stock brand. Heroes. I bet if I clicked on that, it would already be taken. Ale Dig. Wolf, Andelrath, Dreth. Yeah, lied. Okay, I don't want this to take place. Let's go with Andelrath. And let's switch it up just a little bit. We got some really basic options for the head. There's not a whole lot that you can do with just their basic character creation, but you can, with dyes and stuff, you can really customize the way your outfit looks and stand out from others, especially with such a small community. And I don't know why, but I always feel really adventure-y and like noble and stuff, and captain-y to go with ponytail, so we're gonna do that. And we're gonna give him some facial hair because I've got facial hair. He doesn't look as smooth as I do, but you know. Oh yeah, make him look aged. I like it. I can never decide with the eyebrows. Let's just go with that. Details. Ooh, some battle scars. I like it. Okay. There we go. I like that. That's nice. Seasoned. Eye color, blue. Because mine are blue. Go with that. Yeah. Alright. Skin color, hair color, sure. Body type. Alright, let's take a look at this. He's a captain. Beefy. I like it. Does he look like Jason Momoa? Alright. Create character. Boom! He is created. And let's start. We will enter Middle Earth. Around 8 minutes on character creation. I'm not upset about that. I hope you guys aren't upset about that. I try to go fast. Don't you just love load screens? Join the LotRO community.
The chance encounter with brigands upon the road leads to captivity. You awaken with the Ranger Strider before you. As he urges you to act quickly, you realize you have become involved in matters much greater than yourself. Enough!
It's really just very basic. Okay, so he's going to check the satchel. Search the satchel for weapons. Gotcha. Rusty Claymore. Let's take it. Open our inventory, and I always like to move the bags over so that when I bring up my inventory, it's not necessarily in the way of the action. If I were to open up my bags in the middle of an open field and get attacked, I want to see what's going on right away. Bam, got a nice little claymore there. And let's right-click Strider.
You must test your will to fight.
Alright, so Strider says, You're not the only prisoner here, friend. My fellow Andir and I have come to rescue a hobbit, but it turns out he is not the hobbit we have been tracking. This escape will be dangerous for us all, for I know that a great evil lurks here. I have heard of its movements, and I can feel its presence. Do you know how to fight? You should practice with me to get a feel for your weapon. And so this is going to be a basic fighting tutorial for the most part. We've got an auto attack here. We won't necessarily need it. But I think they want us to click on it right here. Yeah, start attacking with him. Let's run through our skills here.
Well done. Let us press on.
Your skill in battle is most impressive. Now, listen closely. I will need your help getting out of here. When we leave the jailhouse, the real battle will begin. I will work on character voices in the future. We'll also be upgrading our microphone, so I'll have all this extra static. Oh man, this town has just been laid to waste.
Here is where we must part ways.
You should free the 2 innocent hobbits, also being held captive here. Selendin Brandybuck and Mundo Sackville Baggins. I must search for signs of the servant of Mordor and learn what I can of his connection. That's weird. To the Black Walls. Amdir, my fellow ranger, is making a safe path for us. He will be waiting for us at the main gate. Free Selendin first. It is Mundo they want alive, for they have mistaken him for someone most valuable. When you have both hobbits safe, seek Amdir near the main gate. Then we make for Archet, where we will find safety. And I'm not sure if that's Archet or Arche or how to pronounce it. But we're gonna go and save us some hobbits here. Whoa! That was a very super leap. Experience. Let him come to me. There should be one more there somewhere. Okay, there's Mundo Sackville Baggins. Drama. Don't scare me. Thank you. I was starting to worry that little misadventure would be the end of me. These brigands are appalling folk. My friend Mundo is nearby, I think. We must save him as well. The brigands have been saying terrible things. We'll need a distraction, and I know just what to do. Let's see what she's got planned. Just a little bit of flag and a place to put it. I will. It's about time you got here. It's about time. Was I expected to rescue myself? Come on, you big what? Clodpole. Okay. Get me out of here before these ruffians return. They want to sell me off like a sack of potatoes. Alright, so find Strider and Amdir. Let's do this. Oh, the drama.
The shadow fallen king.
Oh, that was Amdir.
You will not harm these foes.
Good. The hobbits are out of danger. I am glad. Do not, can you stern yourself with me? The greatest danger has passed. The Nazgul fear those who wield fire. Oh no.
I regret that I was but a moment too late. But all is not lost.
Amdir has been pierced by the mortal blade. This does not bode well. We need to leave this place at once. Our Chet is nearby and will serve as a good resting place while Amdir recovers. Quickly, follow me. And we'll finish now or finish later. Finish later allows us to continue to explore the area a little bit. Finish now, it will teleport us out of this particular instance and back into the world.
Wounded by a black rider, the ranger Amdir escaped with his charges into the wild, making his way back to the village of archers.
There, Captain Brackenwood, a retired sellsword, has allowed Strider and his companions to stay and take respite from their cares.
Alright, so there we go. I've gotten rid of some of the user interface there. Clean up the screen a bit so that way it's more organic experience.
Thank goodness you're awake.
Oh.
The fellow Amdir seems very ill.
That doesn't work. But I'm going to definitely play with this a little bit. I'd like for us to not have many menus up when we're running around. You are awake, Andelrath. Andelrath. I've got to get used to saying our own name. Thank goodness. You were exhausted after what happened last night, but that ranger got us all safe to our chat in the end. I am terribly worried for his friend. Amdir looks very ill. You can check on him if you like. He is just over there, to the west of where I am standing. Do you see him there, across the lane? See yourself how Amdir fares. So, these beginning quests here for the intro are going to outfit our character with some basic gear, as well as get us our first level up, teach us about skills.
Do not trouble yourself on my account. It is only a chill.
So Amdir is obviously turning here. So you are awake at last, Andelrath. You earned your rest, for you fought bravely last night. As for myself, I found no peace in slumber. The blade of the Black Rider pierced only my shoulder, though not deeply. I am chilled, but it is no matter. Thank you for your concern, but it is Strider for whom I fear. He is charged with a great task, but he tarries for my sake, and for our chats. Amdir assures you as well, but he is deathly pale and trembles with chill.
There are too many deeds to be done, all pressing, and none of them easy.
Amdir is right. I am torn asunder. I do not wish to leave him in this state, and our chest must be warned that the Blackwalds mean to raid the town, but I should be seeking different baggage right now. So this will let us finish, and we can choose. We've got between light, medium, and heavy armor, and we're going to go ahead and start with our heavy armor and finish now.
Perhaps you can help, my friend. Captain Brackenwood will not heed my warnings.
Overall, this is asking us to go and assess the threat and see whether or not the villagers even believe that there's a legitimate threat here. So we're going to do that, and of course we'll get then some gloves to outfit our character with. Captain Brackenwood.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
And make that clear here. Did you wander in here last night with those rangers? I do not like the look of those fellows one bit. But I let them stay on account of the Pale One's wounds. You say the Blackwalds mean to attack us. but I do not believe it. Not without proof. Those brigands have always been about. They are an unruly lot, but not murderous. I'll not be attacking them without good reason. If you must, talk to folks around town and get their opinions. If they're on your side, I'll consider the ranger's warning. So, up here on the mini-map is a really good guide, and we'll just run around here and collect these people. And just like Captain Brackenrook, they believe that there is no threat
Where's this world
whatsoever.
coming to?
Believes Archette is safe from danger. Surprise! Up here, where it's all green and it doesn't look like the blight has reached us. Yeah, sure.
Greetings.
Alright. Believes Archette is safe from danger. Surprise, surprise. And before we even talk to him, the captain won't let no harm come to Archette. Well, we already know where he's going to be. Right. And our next objective tells us what he's going to say. Tell Strider that the people of Archette do not believe you. Surprise, surprise.
Alas for peaceful folk everywhere. It is an enormous task to convince them that evil people with evil intentions will commit evil deeds.
Seems that I cannot leave yet. Amdir needs my help, and I have pressing work to do in Archette to get those people ready for the impending storm. If you help me, perhaps I can leave before tonight. And now we can choose. We definitely want some chainmail.
Before you try to fight, you must learn what skills you may from the trainer.
And this is where we're going to learn about skills from the captain trainer. Over here in Archette, when we see the scrolls, these are different trainers for different classes, and they're usually always grouped together in one sort of area in a town, with the exception of a lot of times lore masters or burglar trainers will be off elsewhere, where it makes sense for their character to be. Captain's charge.
Do something for me.
Alright, he specializes in teaching us all sorts of great captain skills, and he's going to want us to use our battle shout on a training dummy and then strike it with devastating blow, which we've been doing already. I believe this is our devastating blow, and our battle shout is what we will normally call most enemies to us with, to sort of do crowd control. Alright, and then we'll be able to accept one of these. I'll probably go with a great sword. We'll stay with the swords for now. Alright, and here's a training dummy. Just like this. Yes, open tapping that now. And wham, just like that.
Greetings.
2-stack great sword. Bang. Just like that, we're all done. Back to Strider.
Do you feel confident in what you have learned?
I do.
Under my poor old friend, a shadow has crept over him.
Alright. The Black Rider that stabbed him is more fell than any creature you will meet in your travels. We have little time, and we must stretch what time we have by doing two things at once. Andir needs medicine, Andelrath, and quickly. Do you know of a plant called Kingswood? It has great power to heal. You should ask Captain Brackenrook if he knows of any that grows in these parts. Offer him assistance as well, if it does not take you far out of the way. We must begin to work on him, and perhaps he will look more kindly upon you after you do him a good deed. And from that we will earn some basic potions, one for health, one for action points, which is what we'll use for our skills here. Alright.
I don't like the look of those rangers one bit.
Alright, my best man, Calder Cobb, is having trouble with wolves of late. Perhaps you could help him on your way to do your gardening job for the ranger. Always being kind of a jerk. I'm sure he referred to King's Foil as a weed somewhere up there. Which, you know, doesn't mean he's wrong, it's just, of course, go figure. And we'll go ahead and collapse some of the UI here. Oh, and here's good old Calder Cobb. Alright, Calder.
Well,
Traitor.
if it isn't the rumor monger.
I've heard all about you, Andelrath. As you can see for yourself, there aren't no brigands causing trouble. It's the wolves that threaten us lately, and they're around a place called Brown's Folly. Well, go take care of them, basically. Fine. Simple enough. Alright. So, let's see here. And I am going to go ahead and we will equip our new armor and greatsword. Take a look at our character here. Nice. Looking heavy, mate. Alright. Okay, and we'll go ahead. I wonder if this will count right here. Yes, it will. Our first of 4 wolves. We'll also find King's Foil at Brown's Folly, if I recall. And Brown's Folly, I believe, are some old Dunedain runes. And if you don't know, Dunedain are like the ancestors of people like Andelrath and Strider, who later we find out is, you know, Aragorn. Sometimes I receive a little injury there from that one. We've got to start making our way up. Brown's Folly. Just like that. Alright, we've got our wolves. We'll grab our King's Foil. Let's investigate the top here. Oh. Huh. Strange banner. I know all about banners. Oh. Uh-oh. Wolfmaster approaches. You ain't got nothing. Oh! Hammer shattered some of our armor value. There we go. Whew. Got a little injury there too. Alright, let's head back to Calder Cobb. Oh, and that, my friends, is our first injury. Let's see. Alright, quest items. We got one in our inventory depending. pending loot is down here. That's what we got from killing those. And let's see, our injury's already gone, but I was going to show you they last, their status effects, they last for so long. They make it so where you can't, move as fast. They slow movement speed by a certain percentage for a certain amount of time. And we will head back to Kohler Cobb. Yeah, the part of what I love about this game is that we are getting to experience Middle Earth, whereas the difference between the reason why I choose this game over, say, even World of Warcraft, because to me they're all really just very similar, is because with World of Warcraft, okay, I've never fantasized about being a goblin riding a motorcycle shooting a plasma rifle, okay? I have, however, thought it would be really cool to be on the walls of Helm's Deep, next to Aragorn or Legolas and slaying orcs.
Impossible! A weakling like you defeated the Wolf Master?
That's right. I would kill you myself if that fool Dirk Mudberg weren't watching. And he doesn't fear exposure from us. Tell Brackenbrook whatever you like, but Archet will fall, and I'll make out with more gold than you can fathom. Oh, dude, you're gonna kiss a bunch of gold? Do you know how many hands that passes through? Alright, man. It's your funeral. You will die with the rest if you do not make yourself scarce before tonight. Oh, alright. Ooh, shivering in my space boots. My yellow space boots. Okay. Alright, back to town. Oh yeah, okay. So this is another really cool perk about being in a role-playing server, is that you constantly have other players constantly discussing lore over here. I just caught a little bit of I saw a little bit here. I thought I saw them discussing, lore a second ago. But, and a lot of them will debate lore and whether or not it matters in the games and everything else. And the thing is that I feel that they have done a great job, a stunning representation of the different feels and cultures, both through the music and through the animation and texture and everything else. And having done some 3D stuff, 3D animation and stuff now,
Danger has found you earlier than I predicted.
It's really easy to find an appreciation for this stuff. So, okay. So how did he know of you if he was at his post? And how did that Blackwall know you were coming? Thank you for the risk you took to deliver the king's spoil. I will think upon this riddle while I prepare a salve for him.
I cannot decide which is more dangerous right now. Calder Cobb's treachery or the ignorance of Captain Brackenbrook.
Alright, if Calder Cobb is his best soldier, I know Brackenbrook would not believe that he had tried to have you ambushed by a Blackwall. I did some asking around while you were gone, and there's a Blackwall brigand in the stocks, across the lane from here. He's being held for highway robbery. You should ask him about Calder Cobb. Okay. Let's do that then, and then we'll get some boots here. Just for the time being, guys, I'm going to shrink this as much as I can. I'm just going to load it down. Okay, so this is that guy, Otto the Brigand.
Oi, you there! Let me go! Calder Cobb can vouch for me!
Aha! Boom. Simple as that.
How can I be of service?
is good to make your acquaintance, Andelrath. I noticed you were questioning Otto. Does that mean that his mutterings have been truthful? Yes, I do believe what you have come to Archet to tell. It is unprecedented, but all signs are showing that the Blackwalds mean to attack us. How is it that they have the means? Brackenbrook does not believe you. You may tell him that I do, for what it's worth. Well, the jailer's on our side. Alright, Brackenbrook.
How can you say this? Calder Cobb has been loyal to me since he was a boy.
Sorry. And of course we will grab the heavy armor boots.
I suppose it would be
And
wise
so
to investigate your claim.
Okay, so I don't know why, but 6 has always been a really comfortable number for me for the healing skill. It's like right in the middle of the keyboard and at the top. So I usually set that as my healing skill, and then we'll fill in our easy regular skills, and I usually bring them in by cooldown. So yeah, and then we'll get ourselves a cloak. Okay, talk to Cal Sprigley to assess the Blackwald threat in the south. Cal Sprigley's farm is to the south of here, near the gate of the town of Combe. If aught is going on, he'll know. Alright, so we've got ourselves a town gossip, and it's opened up 2 other local quests that we should be able to complete on the long
since
way.
last night.
We get some bilberries for Selendon's medical tea, which she plans to give to Amdir, and
Hey, you there! I'm hungry!
go figure, a hobbit's hungry. Alright, so we're going to collect boar meat for Mundo. Okay, Wahlberg is Jason Bourne. And a lot of other well-known action and comedy characters. Okay, interesting. He says that. Let's bring the names up here. I am going to want to find some of these boards. There's a Dusk Wolf. And for the first time, I'm going to bring up the map. And as you can see, when we are trying to complete quests, it gives us these nice highlighted areas. So, Sweet Bilberry Tea, that's where we're going to find those. We're going to find boars all along here on our way to Sprigley's farm, which is all the way to the south. This gate right here is going to take us to Combe. Then we have the hunting lodge over here, which this is kind of like an exile guy of Archet. Like Brackenbrook's son, we'll get introduced to him later. And here's the Blackwald's roost. So like I said, the Blackwalds had always been a pester, but they've never been in strength enough that they could attack Archet. And now for the first time, for whatever reason, they can. So we are trying to be the kink and the plan. And I'm naturally a pirate, so if you hear me ever do any sort of accent that sounds piratey, it's where my heart goes. Okay, so naturally, it's easy to just try out the new skill here. Getcha. Done. You're done. You're done. Sorry, I had to kill the Blackwald spy because of what they are. They're freaking spy. Right in the brush. You're gonna be dead in the brush. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, pull you out of the brush. For audience's sake, so I can kill you out in the open. For everyone to see. Okay. Let's go towards Spiggy's farm. At the very least. Aha! We find a little piggy. Along the way. Bang! 2 at 4 for me. Oh, let's see if we can get one more. Because I can. Alright, real quick, just the map for reference. Okay, we are way west of Spiggy's farm, so we will head back east towards it. There's the gate. Oh wait, let's get this other picture. The sooner we get these, we can start ignoring these. Oh, there we go. Boom. Got the boar meat. Excellent. Yeah, I don't know what that's new. Suggestive for the skills. I don't know that I like that user interface popping up there like that in that particular fashion. I don't know that I like it. It's new. Yeah, I guess it makes things easier, but I don't know.
A stranger, eh? You're the best thing that's happened to us all day.
Alright.
Our best hope is to get help from Cone, our neighbors. We will not let our check fall to brigands.
Fair enough. Please make haste. I fear the Black Walls mean to attack tonight. The road here is crawling with brigands. But I pray you can make it safe to come. Yeah, me too. Alright, let's do that then. Oh, hey.
Can I speak with you a moment?
Oh, no. Courageous farmhands. My dad and the other farmhands, they gave chase to the brigands after the attack on our farm. I don't think the brigands expected us to put up such a good fight after they surprised us. There weren't many of them, but I never saw them act so bold after today. Only problem is, they ain't back yet. They ran off to the east, chasing the brigands into the woods. It was hours ago, though, and I'm very worried. You go look for them and bring them back safe. Alright, so we've got 3 names. Walt Wheatley, Bill Hayspear, and Thornton Woodley. And when we get back, we'll be able to choose a new home greatsword, which has a slightly higher DPS. Which will probably just look really cool in the end here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to check the Combe Gate to the west here first. Come down here and check this out first. And then we'll make our way back up through here before we go. Alright. I wish we could just go like auto-complete these quests when we finish, but we've got to report back to them. So we'll do what we've got to, and that should clear us up, and we will be 1 instance away from finishing the introduction and finishing a very long episode 1. But we're going to take, whoa. There's the Black Walls. Ha ha! You want the people of Combe to help you? You're afraid of the Black Walls, are you? Let's run home, little fool. Enjoy your day. It'll be your last. Well, bold words, Blackwalled. I think that they highly underestimated the strength of both Strider, myself, and company. These are some pretty hardy dwarves and hobbits over here in our chat. And we also have an undiscovered secret weapon. We could complete that quest, but we've got to come back to it anyways after we go east over here to bury these bodies. So we'll do that first. Probably get rid of these artifacts there. Here's one. Oh, hello. Oh. Oh no. Another one. There's Bill Hayspear. While we're here, we collect some bowberry. Usually in game, the easiest way to select these things is to click on the name. You know, a lot of times it'll auto run straight to them and pick them up. Do the same thing. Make you come to me. Yeah. Boom. On this bilberry bush. Oh, I thought that was a bilberry bush. Let's get to around and take a look around. Oh. Blood dust. Oh boy. I have a feeling this is yeah, sure. This is a special. I use that morale boosting skill there right away. We haven't slotted any of our potions. That was dangerous. Huh. Let's see. There's one more bilberry bush around here. Oh boy, black wolves. I'm going to kind of avoid them just a little bit. We're going to try to move up here and claim Walt Wheatley's body. We do, and there's the Brigand Lieutenant. Oh boy, level 7. Thanks. More of his body. We went unnoticed. Alright. Ooh. And there's definitely a dark presence there. It changed it to night in a second for us. Wow. Didn't have to be a lore master to sense that. And where, oh where, is this final bilberry bush? Aha! Right next to a black wall. Go figure. Going across the river. The last bit of bilberry. And now we can rush off all these completed quests. beautiful countryside here, really. Brown's Folly from a distance. Yeah, it's nice. Insert. We'll walk up to these guys. Alright,
This cannot be.
First.
I must fly to Brackenbrook at once.
That's right, the way is blocked. We're in big trouble. Oh, look, I like that.
Greetings.
And we will choose our honed greatsword. That's right. Your father's dead. Will. They're all gone. Sorry, buddy. Best we can do is avenge them. And we've earned our first title, making it to level 5 without dying. We are now Andelrath the Wary. And so we'll go ahead and we'll claim all of our loot here. Check out the title awarded. We always have the one from our heritage, and then we have the one we just earned, reach the 5th level without being defeated in battle. So, and last but not least, we're going to equip our new boots. Don't like those. That's alright, so that makes me, I know I'm going to want to save those, the ones we had on. Is this the home greatsword? No, it's not. Where is it? Right here. That's a little thicker looking. Put the cape on. We'll definitely be changing up how our character looks in the future. For now, we will finish up this intro. Oh wow, I've never seen that, where it's had that problem digitalizing or reading the algorithm or whatever for the animation in the background in the distance like that. Normally it's like sort of Minecrafty, you know, where you can always kind of see it and then it folds in more detail. Or like we would be able to see our chat and then the trees going just like that. Okay, and real quick, I just want to make sure all we've got to do is bring these all back up here. Check the map. All 3 of them are returned there. The last thing they'll do is they'll send us over to the hunting lodge. And we'll go back to our chat and finish this up. Mundo.
This will do nicely.
Gives
me something to munch on for a bit, at least.
Lovely. This is sure to cheer on dear right up.
I will give it to him. Alright.
This tea will help on dear feel better. I just know it.
Now give him the tea. Alright.
I thank you, but I have not the stomach to drink this now.
He doesn't even trust it. We'll return to tell him he
Did my
loved it.
tea perk him up? I knew it would.
Yeah, it was wonderful. He just, oh, the best tea. The best.
What have I done?
As Brackenbrook reads the letter from Cal Sprigley, his face is blank. He reads it a second time, and only then does he look at you. I have been a fool. Oh, what have I done? As he said.
You cannot fathom just how wrong I have been.
Alright. My son John is a worthy hunter, but he has not set foot in this town for over 3 years. He will never forgive me for the things I said to him. Oh, what a fool I am. I told him he was not welcome in our chat until he stopped behaving like a jealous child. Now he and his hunters are our only hope. But what can I do? He does not deserve to be dragged deeper into my folly. Nay, our chat must withstand this storm without help. So you make one mistake, now you're too prideful to even ask your son for help, knowing he would come and help our
Do
chat.
not despair. You have done well.
Thanks. And you must appeal to his son John against his wishes, of course. Alright. So, Strider has other things to do. He wants us to go talk to John Brackenbrook. And we will do just that. Everyone, so we have now arrived at the hunting lodge where we see John and all of his hunters. We've got Otley Spiderbane, a nice little dwarf there, and Granger, and we'll go ahead and head inside. Hunter's just sharpening his sword. Nice, fitting. Promising. Sharpening his sword, I like it. Very manly.
I presume you're here to bring me ill news from town.
You presume correctly, sir.
Calder Carl has shown his true colors at last.
I knew him to be evil-hearted. My father is too trusting. Does not like to think ill of people. His blindness wounded me, but he is a good man. So to answer your question, yes, I will come to Archet's aid. I and my fellows. I am a hunter and a skilled warrior, trained by my father and captain, and I would rather die than sit idly by while foul brigands crash upon a decent people. Let us see what there is to see before the storm is upon us. While I gather my warriors and my weapons, you should sneak into Blackwall's roost and uncover their plan of attack for tonight. And this is where we will get some either well-worn equipment. Interesting. Might-based medium armor. Or we can go for... I've never seen this, so this will be interesting. I'll absolutely have to choose that when we finish. So we'll defeat brigands as we go up to Blackwall's roost. And this is also tough because, gosh, I love the way that plumed hat looks, but I guess not for a captain, right? Okay. Just like that, boom. Okay. Alright, and you know what? For fun, let's go ahead and interact and get this little swim action going. Oh no. This is one of those times when I wish you could sink. Alright. Now, start making the stretch across. Bam. It may very well be that it could have been quicker to run all the way around. I'm not really sure if that would have actually been quicker or not, but I didn't do it. plans. So, one thing that is a lot of fun that I've done before is, with a burglar, you sneak right in. You didn't have to do any fighting. On the downside, you avoid, basically, experience that you would normally get from killing enemies if you just sneak by them. But it's just a really cool way to play, a really cool mechanic that they added, being a burglar, is that you can sneak. So, I have done that before, and it's a lot of fun. It's a really enjoyable experience. It's just a harder way to level up. However, there's also crafting in this earns you quite a bit of experience, and there are certain crafting jobs that you can basically pay to level up with. The best example with that is farming. I've used farming to level up a number of characters, then only just to make them cook in the long run and switch it up for them. So let's report back to John.
Good work, my friend.
And fast, too. This will be a great boon to our chat. Now we'll be able to counter their efforts with the proper strategy. And like I said, we'll grab the well-worn equipment and avoid the helmet.
I believe there is hope for us yet. We only need a strategy.
We've earned some class traits. They tell us about outfits, and we will get... I am going to most likely go with some gray dyes. So let's see here. Okay, call to arms, a herald of hope, a herald of victory, and a herald of war. Okay, so most likely I will be using the one that increases our damage. So let me go ahead and bring in our first Herald of War. And they'll tell us a little bit about companions. Comlin Herald, which later we will be able to customize him. Under the pet menu, we can rename him. And let's see, Andelrath's first companion is going to be Airborne. No. Aerobjorn. I don't know. Darn. And it could have been so simple. Okay, Bear. Our companion is Bear. Hello, Bear. And ironically, there's just standing right in front of a bear. That's not even actually where I got that from. But okay, alright. And the hunter is going to say, hey, you should get some rest on that bedroll right there. Which we can do. And it's going to basically show us some of the other expansions that are available later on down the line, and we'll go ahead and we'll take a look at it and we'll see which ones that they are trying to show us for now. I'm pretty sure they're going to show us Rohan. They might show us Gondor. So let's take a look at it. Andelrath.
Listen to my words. I am Galadriel, the Lady of the Golden Wood. Do not be afraid, my friend. Your people are short-lived, but the fate of Middle-earth is yours to command. I will not long disturb your sleep. I can visit you in dreams for only a short time. I have looked into my mirror and seen much that worries me. Let me show you.
And it's going to load us a few little clips here. Most of these expansions I have not ever explored. There's a bear floating.
You are near to wakefulness. The last tendrils of sleep will soon release you. You ask why I wanted to show you this? It is for one reason. I saw you in my mirror, not once or twice, but often. Whether you desire it or not, your fate is tied to that of Middle Earth.
When I did that with my lore master, he was standing there with the bear. So he was like, I made this joke.
The free peoples of Middle Earth will have need of you.
No.
You must not fail them.
We depend on you, Batman. And boom. It's gonna shut down in 0 minutes. Thank goodness for that. Okay. And we don't even get the experience for that. It just literally shows us some expansions. Okay, so Otley Spiderbane is right here.
I am at your service.
And he would like us to see if the wall to the west of us right now, but to the east of Archet, is intact. which would help so that we're not splitting our forces. We can defend on just one side of the territory. Now, I wonder if these spiders are hostile. Not yet, they're not. We can be thankful for that. Oh. Brood ambusher. Why does it sound like it's following us? Aha. Good black gold scout. That's promising. Alright. And let's start feeding some of these spiders. Okay, so I've got the chat window a little too low. I'll bring that up a little bit. I usually have these set to aggressive, but when I do that, then we end up losing him along the way when he fights everything he possibly could. Oof, it looks like we've been webbed. Alright. Alright, there's a brood ambusher. If he finished that, would have been nice. Is he still fighting that one? Okay, let's go check on Bear. Because he is really struggling here. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. Healed his morale. But is he still... He's still facing just the one brood hatchling. Will he get it? Oh boy. Oh, that's dreadful. Oh, alright. And the assist. Well, Bear, I hope we can make you stronger, sir. Oh, he stopped to fight something else. Well, he's gonna die. But we're gonna take down this brood ambusher. Oh, whoops. That's alright, it's dead. Bam. Defeat spiders on the old east path. Then we'll come to John. Rush back to John. Dun, 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 dun. So, this is a free-to-play game. I am playing free-to-play with a free account, which means that when I'm not recording, when I'm not doing, I pretty much won't be doing quests. What I'll be doing are deeds, which are going to earn me LotRO points.
A dead end will surely work in our favor.
That's right. I was thinking. We'll grab the gray dice here, and then we can talk to John. And we are getting ready to enter the last. This is the intro. This is the final quest in the introduction, which will launch us into the game, and which will also finish our first episode. So, if you're still watching, wow. Thanks for still watching, for continuing to be here. It's amazing. I know that the audio is rough. We're going to improve that right away for our second episode. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into this intro quest. The storm is upon us in our chat.
John Brackenbrook and his hunters have reached the outskirts of Archet to find it already ablaze. A desperate struggle to save their village is about to begin. Hopefully, you have arrived in time.
We'll bring Bear along. We'll go ahead and get rid of this. Oh, actually, we'll have to keep it up.
We have no time to lose.
Already the town burns. And we only have a short time to rest here before they see we have broken through the east wall, I fear we are less safe by the moment. So we'll fight alongside John, make our way through Archet.
We must save Ned!
Oh boy. Ned Kerner's a jailer. Amdu's close by. He escaped the slaughter at the Badger. You have to stop him. Defend the Badger. Oh, you have to help him. Excuse me. Those Blackwolves want the Hobbit and the Captain. I saw something in the flames. Go after them. You must save them. Oh boy, poor Ned has died. This whole place is on fire. Okay, let's talk to John.
Chet must still be saved.
Alright, let's continue to fight alongside him. Oh.
There are more up ahead.
And our guy's got some skills here. We'll go ahead and put him to good use.
We must find my father before it's too late.
And we'll continue to fight alongside him. Probably find another group of enemies up here. I'd like to know where the rest of his rangers are. His hunters.
Look, Otley is ahead. All must not be lost. Well met, friend. Is the crafting hall safe?
A group of Blackwolves entered that building yonder along a courtyard. Together, surely we'll take them. Oh man, here we go. Man, Blackwolves right in the midst.
Although the Mad Badger burns, we'll still hold out hope.
Alright, well, let's see what else we can find. See who we can save, and anyone.
Father! I knew you would survive.
I am alive, son, but I grow weary of the fight. There's no time for blame. We must only look to defend this town. I'm not you. Alright, here we go. Oh boy. Hardcore. And there's Hohenheim Tower. Wow, Amdir has completely changed, it seems. answering to a whole nother master.
Father! No! What misery is before us? My father is right to trust no one.
Now all we can do is wait for the flames to die down. Then, with luck, we may begin to rebuild our poor town. And boom. Defeated the Black Walls, but we'll see what happens.
With the Black Walls' attack foiled, the people of Archet have begun to rebuild. Yet not all hurts are so easily mended. The fate of the Ranger Ambia remains uncertain, and may have dire consequences for Green. But hope remains that he may yet be saved.
Okay, and so ends episode 1 of our The Lord of the Rings Online adventure series, exploring from Archet. We'll see a little bit of the Shire and Selendem with some other characters, and we'll explore 3, hopefully all the way east to Gondor eventually. But this was just the first one, the introduction to Andelrath, our captain character, which we will take through Middle-earth. Thanks you guys for watching. We're going to customize the outfits, pick a profession in the next episode, and hopefully get started on some of this main quest and get into the nitty-gritty. Okay. Goodbye.